In the early 1980s, Koko, a Western lowland gorilla, made history not only for her ability to communicate in American Sign Language, ASL, but also for her deep emotional connections with others, both human and animal. Koko had been under the care of Dr. Francine Patterson since she was a young gorilla, and the two formed a bond that allowed Dr. Patterson to teach Koko over 1,000 signs. This groundbreaking work revealed the extent of Koko's cognitive abilities, but it was also Koko's emotional intelligence that would captivate the world. In 1984, Koko's life took a deeply emotional turn when she was given a pet kitten, which she named All Ball. Koko's bond with All Ball was immediate and profound. She treated the kitten with great care, using gentle signs to express affection, such as petting it and signing words like love and gentle. Koko showed a clear understanding of the kitten's vulnerability and responded with tenderness and protection, behaviors not often associated with large primates. Koko's caretakers were moved by the way the gorilla seemed to care for the kitten, and they began to observe how the bond between Koko and All Ball developed. Koko would often use her sign language skills to communicate about All Ball, referring to the kitten as Cat, and expressing a deep fondness for her little companion. However, tragedy struck when All Ball was accidentally hit by a car and died. The event was a turning point in Koko's life, and it also became one of the most widely discussed moments in the study of animal emotions. The death of All Ball was something Koko had to process, and her response was a deeply moving display of grief. When Koko was informed of the kitten's death, she reacted with a visible expression of sadness and confusion. She used her sign language to communicate her emotions. Koko's first signs after hearing the news were cry, sad, and cat, indicating that she understood that her pet had passed away. This was not simply a reaction to a familiar human voice or an external cue. Koko seemed to grasp the concept of death, even if she did not fully comprehend the finality of it. Koko's grief was not just verbal, it was emotional and physical. She showed signs of deep sorrow, withdrawing into herself and becoming noticeably quiet. Her caretakers were stunned by how Koko expressed her sadness through her body language. She no longer played with her toys or showed interest in her surroundings. The staff observed that Koko's behavior was similar to what humans might exhibit when they experience a loss. Her behavior suggested that Koko not only mourned the loss of All Ball, but also understood the concept of separation, which many people had previously believed was unique to humans. The emotional depth in Koko's response signaled a more profound awareness of life and death in animals. Perhaps the most poignant moment came when Koko signed the word sorry after the death of All Ball. While many may interpret sorry as an expression of regret, it was widely believed that Koko's signing reflected her grief and the emotional weight of the situation. The word sorry in ASL could be used to express sympathy, empathy, and guilt, and in this case, it was likely Koko's way of communicating her sorrow and confusion. It was as if she understood that All Ball was gone forever and felt a deep sadness for the loss. The use of the word sorry also shed light on Koko's emotional intelligence. She not only expressed grief, but also appeared to empathize with the situation in a way that many might consider human-like. Koko's mourning for All Ball became one of the most significant pieces of evidence in the ongoing conversation about animal emotions. The gorilla's response challenged long-held beliefs about animals' emotional capabilities and sparked further interest in how primates and other species process and express grief. The incident highlighted the emotional depth of gorillas and their ability to understand loss, a concept once thought to be uniquely human. It also underscored the importance of the relationships animals form, whether with other members of their species or with humans and other animals. Koko's ability to mourn All Ball was not just about the loss of a pet. It was a reminder that animals, particularly those with high cognitive abilities like gorillas, are capable of experiencing emotions in ways we might not fully understand. After All Ball's death, Koko was given another kitten, but her relationship with the new pet was different. She did not display the same intensity of affection for the new kitten, and it was clear that Koko's mourning for All Ball had left a lasting impression on her. This moment of grief was a turning point in Koko's life and a turning point in the way the world saw the emotional lives of animals. Koko's ability to communicate her grief in sign language left an indelible mark on animal behavior research, making her story one of the most powerful examples of an animal's ability to experience and express deep emotions. In the years following All Ball's death, Koko's story continued to inspire people all over the world. It raised important questions about animal consciousness and the emotional bonds that can form between humans, animals, and even different species. Koko's grief was not just a testament to the emotional depth of gorillas, but also a reminder of the complexity of animal cognition, challenging traditional ideas about the emotional lives of non-human animals. Through Koko's loss, we saw that grief is not a human-only experience, but a universal emotion that spans across species.